So if you're comfortable closing your eyes, do so. And think back in your own life to when you were 13 years old. Now, for the sake of the exercise, I'd like you to pretend that regardless of your sexual orientation, you've always been attracted to people of the other sex. If you're a woman sitting in this audience, your first crush was on a boy or on a man. Likewise, if you're a man sitting in this audience, your first crush was on a woman or on a girl. But let's pretend that when you were a baby, you were adopted. You were adopted by either a gay, male, or lesbian couple. Don't try to figure it out. Just go with your feelings. Just go with your feelings. What would it feel like to be raised by either two women or two men? These people love you very much. For the sake of the fantasy, pick either two women or two men for yourself. They love you very much. They're proud of you. They want you to be happy. But they have an idea of what's going to make you happy. Now, in this fantasy family, you have an older brother or sister who is 17 years old, perhaps, who's openly gay. You have an openly gay or lesbian brother or sister, and they bring home a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and that boyfriend or girlfriend is always welcome to the dinner table. Their photograph is taken. People wait up when they come back from dances to find out what a great time they had. And you notice that people are looking at you and sort of letting you know that they expect that of you too. That if you always want to be cherished in this family, you better bring home somebody of the same sex. That's what we want for you. That's what you need to do to make us proud. How do you feel about that? And who do you tell how you feel about that? Let's get out of the house. Let's go to school. You're 14 years old. You're on your way to your first day of high school. Remember that day? You're sitting on the bus next to your best friend. The bus driver has a song on the radio. And every kid is singing the song, and you're 14 and you're singing the song too, and what you're singing is, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay. I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay. You're 14 and you're singing I'm gay without trying to figure out how this happened. What would it feel like to be 14, sitting next to your best friend who's gay, singing with a busload of gay kids, a song turned on by the gay bus driver, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay. What would that feel like? What would it feel like if every billboard you passed featured two people of the same sex? If every comic book hero was gay? What would it feel like if every station you turned on the radio or television featured gay people? Every movie you went to featured gay people? What would that feel like? What would it feel like if your homeroom teacher was gay? And the librarian, and the principal, and the guidance counselor? What would it feel like if everyone in school thought you were too? Now, not everybody in this fantasy is gay. There are people who are sexually interested in, attracted to people of the other gender. You'll learn this word later in your life. They're called heterosexuals. Most people, though, when you're younger, mean people particularly, don't call them heterosexual. They call them breeders. Make love, not breeder babies, the bumper sticker says. When a handful of breeders tried to get legislation passed so that they wouldn't lose their apartment or their job, you saw a bumper sticker that said, kill a breeder for Christ. These people want special rights for what they do in the bedroom the night before. Breeders. The boy thought to be a breeder is the boy hit in the head with a dodgeball in 7th grade. Your best friend whispered in your ear in 7th grade that God would vomit in the presence of a breeder. That's what you think you are, somebody who in God's presence, God would vomit in your presence. How do you feel about that? It's Tuesday night, the second week of school, the phone rings, you're at home, come to the phone and talk to somebody. If you're a man sitting in this room, talk to Bob. Bob's 16, he's on the wrestling team in student government, and Bob wants to take you to your first high school dance. Bob and his friends have seen you walking in the hall, and Bob and they think you're cute. If you're a woman sitting in this room, it's Susan. Susan sits next to you in homeroom. She's been smiling at you for a week. She wants to take you to the dance. Now, on Friday night, the gymnasium is filled with same-sex couples. Right? You're 14 years old, and by the end of the evening, you're in the arms of a person of the same sex. Slow dance after slow dance. They're nuzzling your neck. They're whispering in your ear, are you having fun? How do you feel? And who do you tell how you feel? And now they take you to the door, and Bob takes you in his arms, or Susan takes you in her arms, and they pull you nervously but excitedly close to them, and they give you your first goodnight kiss. And you walk inside, and your gay family says to you, honey, you look so cute. Tell us all about it. Did you have fun? Do you think there's a book on being a heterosexual in your high school library? And if there is, do you have the courage at 14 to take it off the shelf and hand it to the gay librarian? And pull the little index card out and write your name in ink on it and risk that for the next 3 or 4 years of your life, somebody walks through the halls of the school saying, guess who checked out the breeder book? So you get a boyfriend if you're a boy, or a girlfriend if you're a girl, and you date them, and you go to gay movies, and you hold their hands, and you learn how to French kiss, and you bring them home to meet your family, and you say, I love you, and you go to college hoping things will be different, but in college everyone seems to be dating somebody of the same sex, except for a local group of kids, heterosexual students, who gather in the student union periodically for meetings, but every time they put up an announcement, somebody tears it down or writes breeder across it. And so you date somebody of the same sex because all of these heterosexual students, no one wants them in their dorm room, and no one wants them in their social groups, and no one wants to sit next to them in class. As a junior, you finally have your first gay sexual experience. How do you feel about that? As a senior, you're walking down the street and you see a newsstand ahead of you. It's on the corner. It's a gay newsstand, but every newsstand is a gay newsstand. And there's a gay man standing at it, and he's pointing and laughing at something, and as you get closer, you find out what he's pointing and laughing at is a little stack of newspapers that says Heterosexual Community News. He elbows you and he says, what do you think of that? What do you do? And when he walks away, what do? Well, you reach down, you grab that breeder newspaper, and you stick it in between 2 gay magazines, and you hurry home and you lock the door to your room, and you think of a hiding place, perhaps under your mattress where you could tuck it, because if your gay roommate finds it, you're out in your ear. Everyone's going to know about you.